Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a tier 10 game in my Des Moines, going over the matchmaking threats to my ship. Basically all the battleships. Venezia and Zhao can be an AP threat. Double gearing and Grozavoy rounding out the destroyers for the enemy team. The map is Crash Zone Alpha. And we're going to kick this one off. This is not going to be a clean game. There's some stuff that happens initial positioning wise that I wasn't anticipating. Like, starting from this moment, I've got a gearing that's heading out towards sea cap. That's making me think I'm going to have spotting. And there's going to be some stuff that happens up here at sea. I make a misplay. And a lot of this game is going to be trying to recover from that. So, initial thing that I'm thinking when I'm pushing up here, I'm looking to see what I can secure with my radar, with my guns, and really my objective is to get up in here into these islands. Because a Des Moines dug into these islands, it gets to be pretty ugly for a lot of things trying to push this flank. The only thing that can really do that would be a battleship that can overmatch the Des Moines armor, but you know, that's basically all of the battleships on the enemy team. But I was counting on having a gearing so I could see them coming and be able to get some shots on them and bail out if I needed. But what's happening here is kind of a disaster. I've got a gearing that you don't do this. You sailed up here, now you're sailing in towards a different cap. You've got 4 other ships that have all sailed out here expecting to support you, and you know, we're kind of stuck now. I do see the Venezia smoking up, and I'm just switching my adjustment to, you know what, I'm just gonna try to defend C-cap and shoot what I can see around here as best as I can. So gonna load AP. I know this Venezia's smoke is gonna run out shortly, and I'm hoping to get a shot on it. I don't want to use my radar because nothing's on the cap. I want to actually save my radar to protect the cap. There's the Venezia. I think I aimed this AP a little too high. I was anticipating this Venezia turning out a little later. Now, this Thunder has taken a shot at me. This last minute turn, I was able to duck under some of it, but if that had been AP, that could have been a nasty hit. I do see Shikazima coming, and this is the misplay. You see how I'm drifting? I did not account that the Venezia popped a spotter plane because I didn't see it during that whole time. And this is a very good play by the Venezia. A lot of players forget that you get in around these islands, the air spotting can be a nightmare, and that lets the enemy team just whack the hell out of me, all because he thought to press a button, and even though they didn't have line of sight to me, that plane gave them the spotting that they needed. So if you have spotting aircraft, you're in around the islands like that, pop it. Maybe you can spot them, maybe not. But right now, I'm in a position that I've lost over half my HP, and I really need to back off and play a little bit safe. I do have a Venezia out here that's watching this for me, so we should see if the good news is the Shikazima is already headed south. And if you look, I've dropped off back here. I'm actually going to use the island this way over it to try to get some shots in. I know that this gearing's gonna spot me. But I'm in a position that as soon as these guys start looking at me, I can duck back into the islands. I see that the Venenzia is trying to poke the flank, so I'm just going to close up and try to help my Venenzia pick this fight here. And this is actually going to open a door for me that's going to develop the rest of this game out, because as soon as this line up here stops being contested, that's going to really unlock the island position that I'm at right now. So Venenzia is running off, and I'm gonna creep up into this firing position here, and I'm looking at all these battleships. Who's aiming this way? Who can get a shot at me? Because I know this Venenzia is gonna pop across here momentarily. Nobody's really looking at me. And there's the Venenzia. I know I don't even bother moving. I know the Venenzia is gonna get a shot at me, but he's gonna be gone before these guys can even get the shot off. So I do take a big hit there, but at this point I am kind of the master of my fate. I'm in a position that as long as I have spotting, the enemy's gonna have a hard time dealing with me. I'm just trying to focus on this Kremlin a bit. Switching to the Venenzia, just this guy looks like he needs some shots taken at him. And just here, I'm just going right back to, you know, just like the video that I had, who's on fire, who needs, you know, a damage over time on them. So right now, switching focus to the Kremlin. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a tip when you're working from cover. You see, as this guy gets in, less and less of my guns are going to be shooting at this guy because I'm starting to do some terraforming. So, while these guys are distracted, I am going to creep out here a bit, see if I can get my back gun into it. Just the way this rock cropping is shaped, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I could be shooting the Shikazima and doing some good there, just trying to get this this Kremlin down. You see, I'm just fine-tuning, and this is the position that I need. Okay, this is a really good lesson for guys that haven't seen this video. If you noticed, I fired that last shot undetected, and if you look, the detection point on a Des Moines is basically right here. This this column, or this tower on the superstructure. If you can keep this behind the the obstruction, the smoke, the island, whatever that breaks a line of sight to the enemy's point of visibility, you can have this much of your ship hanging out around the island shooting. It's dangerous if you get spotted because this is all citadel here, but you can abuse this as a way to get some cheeky damage in where, you know, you would think that you would be spotted shooting, but if you rewind that video back a minute, you can see that clearly what I'm talking about here, where as I get one shot with the back guns over this, both the front guns over this, completely unobstructed by the island, and I'm also undetected. You're gonna see it here again, right there. Now what I'm doing here, I'm repositioning. I need to, if this Kremlin wants to hang out here, what I want to do, I want to get a little bit further from this island so I get more room to work with my guns. So it's going to take me a minute, but in the long run it's going to be better because I know nothing's up here that can spot me, and that's going to give me you know, the ability to really work these guys better. You see I'm turning out now, trying to get a little more distance from the island here, and that's going to make things a lot easier. For you see that now I can almost shoot fully over the island. Again, spotted by the planes, always a pain because a lot of times you can't even see those planes. Just really want to ramp the pressure up on this Kremlin. And the reason for that is Des Moines can be a very powerful ship played out in the open water, but you don't really last that long if you've got battleships that are close enough that they can get some big shots into you. So I'm trying to use these islands here, clear these battleships out, and that will open up my freedom of maneuver where I can really start going to work on things. Now I'm being sloppy here, you know, coming out around these islands. It's a misplay to get detected like this. Switching to the gearing. Get my reticle set. I had zoomed in so I could do some more precise shooting at the different areas on these battleships while they're sitting there tanking. Now here, just reversing around the island, just want to deny this battleship the ability to shoot at me. I hate you, island, but I love you too. And at this point, the battleship, he's low enough HP, I'm just gonna go for it. Get a good fire on him. My Yamato is able to put him down in the middle of his turn, and this has now started to open this up where I can really start pushing. And you're really going to start to see how nasty it can be when a Des Moines starts shooting. I know I'm detected, I know the gearing can see me, waiting for my concealment to drop like it just did. I'm waiting till I get straightened out where I can get maximum speed up. There's the gearing. I'm turning to where the gearing was just at because most likely if there's torpedoes, they're coming from that angle. Just bringing the third gun into the mix because I know the gearing's not going to get out of my radar range. Able to put him down and holding the repair until I see the torpedoes. There we go. And that's how you neutralize a destroyer that you catch out in open water with a Des Moines. You don't want to just radar the moment that you see him. You want to be, if you've got the room to run at him, that's what you want to do. You want to push in there, get your speed up with your bow pointed in the direction where they're most likely headed, and then get your radar going. Now here, just doing some open water stuff. You know, it's the reverse of what I was doing earlier in the game, where I'm using one fixed position. Now I'm using their fixed position where I'm using the terrain against them. Switching to AP because I think I might get a broadside shot at this Venezia if he pops out. And at this point my objective is just to sweep right back through here and kill anything as I push my way across the map. I switch back to HE. I'm not going to get a first shot with AP that's going to be valuable. but this Venenzia is going into a crossfire, so I've switched back to AP. Gonna start taking some shots. Des Moines AP doing its thing. And I mean, this Venenzia just getting trapped between me and another Venenzia, that's just a really rough position to be in. He does, however, trade out and pick up our Venenzia. If you notice how I'm turning to keep this island between me and the battleship as long as possible. At this point, I know the game's won, so I'm just being really aggressive. He shoots HE at me, which is a mistake. And I'm switching back to AP, which I probably should have been shooting at before. And we're going to pick up the kill on him. So really, Des Moines play can kind of be summed up in a, for me, two phases. You've got the initial phase where you're kind of more restricted as to how you can position around the map until you find the enemy battleships and get them out of the way. As soon as those threats that can overmatch your armor are out of the way, the map is yours. At that point, you enter the mopping up operation, where you really can just take the fight to the enemy and just run right at them. There's very few things in this game as scary as a Des Moines under 12 kilometers. Um, it's a very potent ship when you're inside that envelope. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Um, Definitely not a clean game from me. I made a bunch of mistakes in it. Just haven't played Des Moines that much, and the legendary module, that acceleration is. I just need to refresh my timing with the ship because it's accelerating faster than I'm anticipating. And maybe one way that I go about fixing that is, instead of keeping the legendary module on there, maybe go back to the reload module, which is what I had before, and shave that extra time off the gun reload. Both of them are viable builds. I think it's a lot easier though to open water with the Des Moines if you have the legendary module. So anyway, gonna cut this one off before I talk all night. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you're having a good night, and I will talk to you later.